Chair Shot Reality, your number one procrastination tool on the internet. Some would say behind internet porn. Some would say we're number one.
I say we're number one.
Be that as may, you're watching right now, which you're doing the right thing. Iceberg, Coolish, LeBar. Let's step away from the Royal Rumble predictions for a moment. Let's talk about some of the things going on beyond the ring, so to speak, some of the headlines. And it starts with us.
Procrastination tool.
Gotta love the segue. Speaking of porn, Hall of Famer and classic WWE diva Sunny, who's had her share of troubles, and who with DUIs and such. She said she's getting rid of her Hall of Fame ring, putting WWE behind her. Vivid, the porn company, said that, hey, we'll give you $100,000 for that ring, and you do a 90-minute DVD for us. Well, before she could answer that, Joey Ryan, who pro wrestler has gotten famous working with YouPorn, came out and said, whoa, let us get in the conversation.
Yeah.
So, folks, we have a
threesome, right?
we have a bidding
threesome
war
between
over
Joey
Sunny.
and YouPorn and Vivid
Can't make
and
this stuff
Sunny.
up.
You really can't. And I'll be honest with you, $100,000, that's actually not a lot for her. China got way much more money than that. And I think Sunny, you look at Sunny, I think Sunny's more appealing to the eyes than China. No?
Well, and here's the thing.
No?
Sunny would be stupid not to do it because, first off,
Of course,
she's
yeah.
already doing the Skype sessions where she's making $100 to talk to people in her
How do you know the price range,
in her
Justin?
nightgown, because she publishes it on the thing, and we had Juice investigating into this.
Oh, what about Rico?
She sits there for $100 in her nightgown on Skype and talks to these fans. She'd be stupid not to do this, and if it goes well, and you know wrestling fans are going to download it, she's going to keep getting more work. So she can end up pulling in more money than some of the divas are, maybe.
Well, one of your podcast fans or radio fans, it was John or Rico. One of those two.
Nico,
not Rico. But listen, I mean,
Nico did it.
Here's
So he
my
says.
here's my whole thing with Sunny. Sunny has problems, whether they're financially, mentally, substance abuse problems. If you watched After All the other night, the Legend with JBL and Brian James being on the Road Dogg and his road to redemption, there's so many more out there like that. And I was going to write an article about this, but I wanted to talk about briefly in this subject the fact that the WWE behind the scenes does so good for these people. Why are there like Sunny out there that just can't get the help that she needs, whether it's financially? Why would the WWE let her put herself out there, sell her Hall of Fame ring? Vince should step in here and say, listen, we're going to help you out, whatever you need. We're going to take care of you like we do with everybody
Maybe she
else.
just doesn't give a damn and she doesn't want WWE to help her anymore.
And if that's the case,
kudos to her,
touche.
though, because she's not, trying to profit off of a company that's not profiting her right now for what. And they've obviously financially have been very well to her for over the years. Whatever she did with her money, I have no idea, and I'm not going to try to justify that.
It's also a case of, I mean, who do you want to be associated with? I mean, we're seeing these Twitter rants she's going on, talking about the N-word. I mean, I think it comes to a point to where, WWE has helped a lot. They helped Scott Hall. They spent more money on him in rehab, supposedly, than anybody else. But it comes also to a point where Scott Hall still, while he had problems and he was falling down at indie shows, there's still an endearing quality to him. Sunny continues to move away from the endearing qualities. And I'm not trying to judge her. I mean, she's making her money, I guess, with the Skype stuff, power to you. But I'm just saying, at this point, if I'm her, go do it. You might as well. You're at this point. Talking about profiting, the company's not profiting. Tyler Breeze, a favorite in NXT, brought up to the main roster.
He has a place in Monte Carlo, and they're not even benefiting off of that. It's unbelievable.
Brought up to the main roster, as people call it. I don't like to say main roster, but nonetheless, promoted to Raw and SmackDown.
wait, wasn't that one of your resolutions?
I know, but I'm saying, I'm not referring to it as main roster, but people do, and they are upset that he's not being used in full. There's a report out that supposedly could stem from the fact that he asked to leave early from a taping, which from a guy that's been on Raw or SmackDown for 15 minutes, you don't really do that.
I think with Tyler Breeze, I think it's a fact of WWE, is specifically Triple H. If you watch like the 24 or the Breaking Ground, he was a big fan of Breeze's. And the guy's talented. We know that. Yeah. He has a gimmick that is a little finer tuned than like a Dolph Ziggler. He's more of the show up, more of the pretty boy. So whenever people see Tyler Breeze in NXT and he gets caught up to the main roster, they immediately want him, like every other guy that you see in NXT, to be in that main level. And you look at Breeze, not saying, I hate the term jobber, but he was still putting over other guys before he got up there. His last match, I think, or one of his last matches was him, Baron Corbin, Apollo Crews, even going to Jushin Liger.
Yeah.
So the problem with him is if there's backstage heat because he said or did whatever, I think it's warranted and justified because he is so young on that, quote, main roster.
Well, and you're speaking of Sunny not giving a damn what anybody thinks about her and doing what she has to do. Maybe this is where Tyler Breeze is staying, and you say this a lot, Justin. Some of these guys can go out in the indie scene and make twice as much as they do in the WWE, getting their fees paid and all their expenses.
He's not there yet.
But if he got cut from WWE, what's he make right now?
pennies.
How much is he making right now? Could he make more in the indie scene going out?
I don't think. Dolph Ziggler can leave and go do that in a different situation.
Maybe he's getting getting sick of the business
I
already.
think I'll say this. I know that there was care. They obviously took Tyler Breeze out of NXT, started putting him on Raw and SmackDown. Vince McMahon liked the gimmick. I know this for a fact. He liked the whole phone gimmick. He went out and had his crew go out and spend $1,200 to get several high-quality iPhones so that they could program and do whatever they needed to do the whole Tyler Breeze entrance. So there was investment already put in.
How much?
$1,200.
Oh,
That's it?
wow.
Well, but to
you make
what?
it sound like that's $1 million.
But for a guy that you're
to the point of
investing
being for
in,
somebody who
yeah,
hasn't
I
had one
understand
match
that,
on a Raw, the point is
one cane firework.
the point is there is investment into him. So I don't know if this report is correct, but obviously something has rubbed somebody, maybe Vince, the wrong way to this point. And finally, talk about rubbing the wrong way.
You have good transitions today. You're trying so hard. Wait, we're going back to Sonny? Rubbing the wrong way? Oh, no, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Continue. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Ping bowsing. All right.
Kaboom.
Rubbing the wrong way. My favorite story of the week. The Yeti, Josh, Bronson Matthews is what I guess we call him Bronson Matthews. That's the stage name now. Putting out a tweet calling the Social Outcasts social jobbers. Kevin Owens, your boy. Yeah,
like what happened there? What happened there?
We'll get to that in a second. We'll get to that in a second.
I didn't say anything.
Your boy
Anyway.
coming out saying, "Oh, look at you with your fancy terms. Oh, been here for 3 minutes, blocked. All the social outcast guys let him have it. Cody Stardust let him have it.
Wait a minute. Put your microphone up so we can hear you.
This is
This is crazy. We'll get back to that Owens thing later, but whenever somebody who's not even on the main roster calling out...
Some people don't even know the story. They might not know because we're making all these inside jokes. It was
Screenshot bottom of the screen right here.
Go to Kevin Owens' Twitter from last Monday, and he decided to block Eisenberg for Eisenberg's audio criticism.
The creepy thing is he took my picture and put it into a tweet.
Which he did
that was weird.
Which he did for a lot of other fans.
That's so
you
weird,
at least look the
though.
most
That's so
normal
odd.
out of those other fans.
Because I am normal.
There's one guy taking a selfie with his sunglasses on in his bedroom. And he was talking
weird.
smack on.
Okay. Long story short, all that I said was I really wish that he didn't mumble into the microphone whenever
When
he
I
was
woke
doing
up
it,
Tuesday
period.
morning, so many people would text or tweeted to alert me that they.
I didn't even know. I didn't even know.
I woke up and I saw this much on my phone. I was like, oh my god, either some wrestler died or I said something really stupid last night that I don't remember tweeting.
Yeah, because your alcohol
I was
intake.
like, what is this?
It was just ridiculous.
Okay,
But anyway,
social outcasts,
back to
social
Josh.
jobbers.
Back to Bronson Matthews. here.
Social outcast, Bronson Matthews. I think that this is ridiculous for him for a few reasons. He wasn't even professionally trained to be a wrestler. He gets on Tough Enough. He has a great look. And he was, quote, Vince's guy when he was in Tough Enough. This was the guy that Vince was kind of pulling for and ended up winning. You call out guys who've been in the business for so long. That's like me calling out, Bill Apter, who's been there for 30 years, thinking, oh, this guy's terrible. He's old. He's not doing much anymore, blah, blah, blah. And it's not my place or time. So I think there's a way to do business, and this guy doesn't even know how to do it.
Unless somebody in the back put him up to it as a little rub. Well,
Jesse
remember,
Ventura conspiracy
didn't somebody
theory right here.
super glue some hats onto some heads, and that's why X-Pac was running up and down the coast with DX?
What?
Is that the story? Didn't X-Pac put
Justin,
super
save the segment,
glue
please.
in a cowboy hat, a Billy or Bart gun, and one of the stories there
All right.
somewhere?
Well, so
Maybe.
the thing is, first off, back in those days, it was also a little bit different, a little bit more of a Wild West with those kind of. There's a difference between ribs and doing those kind of things and disrespect. And first off, it comes from you have these Tough Enough winners who he's one of the guys who didn't have any indie wrestling experience. Not that you should have any wrestling experience to know respect, but to know the specific, delicate, sensitive code of respect that is in the funny world of wrestling, always shaking hands, obviously having prior experience would have helped. That said, he should have never talked smack on 4 guys, let alone 4 guys that have been there way longer than he has, but 4 guys that everybody likes. That entire locker room likes all 4 of those guys in the Social Outcast. So you don't talk smack of that. I met Josh briefly when I was down in Florida. He was a very nice guy, soft-spoken kind of guy. I don't think, obviously, he meant anything, malicious. He just thought he was just being a funny guy, on Twitter, like we all do as we watch Raw. But he has to remember that he's in a different spot than, say, I am or any of us are. So you can't say that about your peers that are above you. That said, this stuff blows over. Hell, The Miz was dressing in a hallway years and years ago because he aggravated JBL, and look where The Miz came. Now, The Miz also has a lot more talent than I think than Bronson Matthews is going to have in wrestling. But hey, the interesting thing is, this Sunday in Orlando, he's going to be, NXT guy's going to be backstage at the Royal Rumble, so that's going to be very interesting to see when he's back there in catering and he has to face all these guys. The best thing he can do is seek out the Social Outcasts, shake all their hands, say, I'm sorry, I was out of line.
Hell no. Puff your chest out and just walk down the hall.
That's a stupid mentality. Seek out all 4 of these guys, say, hey, I was in the wrong. shake their hands, buy them a drink, whatever, and just say, look, I was just saying in the wrong. Because at this point, you're not gonna get anywhere. It's not like he has a whole bunch of talent it's not like he's some big free agent that was in desire that he
got $250,000.
But that's gonna go. That ain't gonna last forever. He's not some big free agent guy that has that leverage. He's a guy who's a nobody. So it's not gonna help your case to alienate that whole roster, who you're eventually gonna have to work with if you even make it to that point.
I'm sure there's others out there who've done the same thing as him, as stupid as he has, and they've been just fine. Stick to your guns. No shame. It's happened before. I know it was the Wild Wild West before, but listen.
No, but
what's done is done.
There's a difference between,
he can apologize for what was said.
There's a difference between super gluing hats to try to pass time on the road and disrespecting. Whether he realized it was then disrespecting. That's just this isn't a football locker room.
Well,
this isn't a football locker room where
they're grown men. They'll get over it.
I wish I had a tub of popcorn just to sit back and watch you guys.
Chair Shot Reality. We'll do our
done here before.
We'll do our Rumble predictions for the 30-man match. Also on Sunday, make sure you're following at CS Reality. We'll do videos you can only see on Twitter for the undercard of Rumble. Plenty more going on here this weekend.
I can't drink you.